Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here, and here we go. There he is behind me, Mike Pompeo, Mikey P, fresh off the heels of his big Bilderberg speech, not on the list. C-SPAN decided to cover it as he came into Switzerland, went to a castle with, just around 140 or so of the most elite people on the planet in media, banking, industry, technology, the military, etc. And here we are. Mikey P's making announcements. Let's hear what Mikey P has to say. And, I was going to do a video about the situation in the Gulf the past couple of days, but I didn't get to it, and I wanted some dust to settle. But I'm sure Mike Pompeo, he's going to be upfront and tell the truth of what's going on.
It is the assessment of the United States government that the Islamic Republic of Iran is responsible for the attacks that occurred in the Gulf of Oman today.
Hold on. You see that? He could hardly keep a straight face. Let's go back. He's like smirking and laughing. First of all, we're going to read some of these articles because I'd love to see some evidence. Just like when, we had the incident in Douma in Syria. I was interested in seeing evidence. And Tulsi Gabbard asked James Mattis if there was a thing called evidence. And James Mattis said that he did not have evidence. He said that he believed that an attack had happened. It's on video. I've covered it. Go check out the We Are Change archives. And let's watch Pompeo again. Here he is, Mikey P. He's going to tell you, little Bobby Bilderberg, giving speeches in castles. What's going on, Bobby?
It is the assessment of the United States government that the Islamic Republic of Iran is responsible for the attacks that occurred.
He's almost breaking out into laughter. Are you watching this? Am I the only one that is seeing that or interpreting it? Who's that? What's that? Bombard's body language? Will somebody please send this clip to her and ask her what she... Look at that eyebrow. Does that look like a man that is being honest with the American people? He literally, I don't know how he even kept a straight face on this bad boy. One more time.
It is the assessment of the United States government that the Islamic Republic of Iran is responsible for the attacks that occurred in the Gulf of Oman today. This assessment is based on intelligence, the weapons used, the level of expertise needed to execute the operation.
His voice is literally cracking. He is stuttering as he's saying this, and he cannot make eye contact with anybody. Let's continue. Please, Mikey P, tell me.
Recent similar Iranian attacks on shipping, and the fact that no proxy group operating in the area has the resources and proficiency to act with such a high degree of sophistication.
So, let's get that straight. No evidence whatsoever. None. That is what I like to call zero evidence. They didn't link anything to anybody. And yet, there were already responses. Saudi airstrikes hit near Yemen capital a day after missile attack on Saudi Arabian airport wounded 26 people. See it? Airstrikes by the Saudi-led military coalition fighting in Yemen targeted an area north of the capital of Sana'a. See how this works? We say whatever we want in the Gulf, whatever happens to Saudi Arabia, we bomb Yemen, we propagate against Iran. Here it is. Iran is behind the Gulf Oman torpedo attack as U.S. forces find unexploded mine and tanker. Unexploded, industry chief warns oil supply to entire Western world. We could be at risk. We don't have any evidence, but we could be at risk. Guys, I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but I don't know that it is a dead horse at all when you watch this. Please, let's watch it again, and then we'll watch the other remarks. But you watch this man's face, and you listen to his voice, and you tell me that he is not trying to keep a straight face and he believes what he says. Please tell me that. I'm looking at the top chats right now. Tell me.
It is the assessment of the United States government that the Islamic Republic of Iran is responsible for the attacks that occurred in the Gulf of Oman today. This assessment is based on intelligence, the weapons used, the level of expertise needed to execute the operation, recent similar Iranian attacks on shipping, and the fact that no proxy group operating in the area has the resources and proficiency to act with such a high degree of sophistication. These unprovoked attacks present a clear threat to international peace and security, a blatant assault on the freedom of navigation, and an unacceptable campaign of escalating tension by Iran. Iran is lashing out because the regime wants our successful maximum pressure campaign lifted. No economic sanctions entitle the Islamic Republic to attack innocent civilians, disrupt global oil markets, and engage in nuclear blackmail.
Do you believe any of that? Do you believe that Iran would do that? And if you believe that Iran did this, do you think that they would show, some evidence if they had it? Not just intelligence? I mean, give me a break. This guy, listen, guys, Mike Pompeo is not a good person. John Bolton is not a good person. These people wanted to take that region over a long, long time ago, and they've been very, very patient. And their cronies on the backdrop in a very real neocon universe have written about it, spoken about it, and John Bolton especially. I mean, John Bolton must be frothing at the mouth right now. So once again, not only after Bilderberg, after he gives this speech at a castle in front of all these elites, he then goes and meets with quote-unquote Jewish leaders, and there's leaked audio of him talking about Venezuela and regime change there. When are we going to stop this? And unfortunately, folks, when I look around, when I look at everybody out there, I just don't see the outrage. Do we not understand that they are not an imminent threat at all? In fact, there's a congressman, Adam Kinzinger, is being extremely honest here. Let me explain this. U.S. Navy would push, shove, stop, and destroy Iran in a heartbeat, GOP congressman warns. And a lot of that is true. They would literally eviscerate their military on a ground level probably pretty shortly. But a troop invasion? Oh, that's a different story. There's a lot of people here. And first of all, before we even start rising tensions to the point they are right now, let's have some evidence. Let's not just say intelligence or sophistication of the attack. Let's not say they're lashing out when you can't show me anything here. Again, I'm not seeing anything. The assessment is based on intelligence, the weapons used, the level of expertise needed to execute the operation. See, nothing new here. Britain had urged extreme caution amid spiraling tensions in the region weeks after Saudi tankers were wrecked in a mysterious act of sabotage off the UAE coast, which Washington believes was the work of Iran. And who gave us that intelligence? Israel. And remember, Israel just before those attacks that cost nobody's life and no loss of oil, they had said that Iranian Revolutionary Guard or proxy forces were going to attack U.S. interests. And then poof, magically it happens. Nobody's hurt. There's no proof that it was actually Iran. Iran denied it. I've yet to see a video presentation, a photograph, radar, anything in a world where satellite technology is off the chain. If you don't think we have drones around the ocean, around these tankers, constantly going, not just drones in the sky. I'm talking about drones in the ocean as well. Absolutely 100%. And we don't have real intelligence of what happened there. If this happened, we would be able to prove it. Just like if Assad had actually attacked people in a helicopter attack with chemical weapons, we wouldn't have leaked OPCW reports saying it's staged. We wouldn't have video of children that were supposedly affected, totally fine, the next day. We wouldn't have Pearson Sharp and others, such as Robert Fisk, on the ground writing stories and showing video of people saying, not only was there no chemical attack, but I don't think there was any kind of attack whatsoever. But instead, we'll show you a video of a woman who works for CNN smelling a backpack and going, oh, the chlorine, oh. And you think I'm joking. And when we talk about, fake news, let's do it live on air. Let's just type it in. CNN backpack Syria. That's all we'll have to type in. And here she is. Where is it? Right here. It's unbelievable.
Ну вот, например, что выглядит в глазах американских политиков, да и не только, Идлиб.
And there's definitely something that stings.
Ага.
Oh, there's definitely something that stings. Oh, that's it? That's what we get? That's the type of evidence our media will run with right now. See, that's the problem here. While we're censoring guys like Jason Burmis, while we're demonetizing a Dan Dix, while we're deplatforming Alex Jones, whether you agree with him or not, the mainstream media, the MSNBCs of the world, the Fox Newses of the world, CNN, ABC, all of them, slightly different flavors of the same exact bullshit. They're going to propagate this. They're going to encourage it more. They're glad there's already 1,500 ground troops there. They're glad people like Frank McKenzie, the top general in the area, is saying the threat is imminent. They want more troops. The plan is over 10,000 officially on paper. Even Vox, another propagator of wars like this one, is saying that's the plan. And no one's mad at Trump about this. No one's questioning Trump in the mainstream media about this. No, not at all. Listen, guys, if you want real news that's not left or right, that's going to show you the evidence, which there was none that any of this happened, but Pompeo barely keeping a straight face. You know what? One for the road. Huh? One for the road. You tell me this man is telling the truth. We're going to blow it right up. We're going to watch it all the way through. Tell me he's being honest.
It is the assessment of the United States government that the Islamic Republic of Iran is responsible for the attacks that occurred in the Gulf of Oman today. This assessment is based on intelligence, the weapons used, the level of expertise needed to execute the operation, recent similar Iranian attacks on shipping, and the fact that no proxy group operating in the area has the resources and proficiency to act with such a high degree of sophistication. These unprovoked attacks present a clear threat to international peace and security, a blatant assault on the freedom of navigation, and an unacceptable campaign of escalating tension by Iran. Iran is lashing out because the regime wants our successful maximum pressure campaign lifted. No economic sanctions entitle the Islamic Republic to attack innocent civilians, disrupt global oil markets, and engage in nuclear blackmail.
So there you go. Get Bombard's body language on that one. Guys, if you're just joining me, if you've never seen this show before, we're pumping out the videos. We're telling the truth. We're talking about all sorts of subjects, from Nexium to Bryan Singer to the DOJ bust to the controversy surrounding Toy Story 4 for no reason. Jimmy Savile. I'm hoping I can pronounce it right from now on. I apologize, folks. Epstein, Dershowitz, you name it. Iran, JFK deep dives you haven't seen before. The Dancing Israelis got a deep dive recently. Like I said, we're putting out a ton of videos a day. This is number, I believe, 4 for the day. We're going to continue to crank them out. I thank you very much. So make sure you subscribe. Join the Burmis Brigade. You can ring that bell for notifications to join the chat live, or you can just star this. Come back. There'll probably be new material. I appreciate everybody out there. Thank you so much, and I'll see you all on the flip side.